Speech off.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to do a book update, my first book update for November, partly because I read a lot of books, and partly because I just finished a book, and I'm enraged, and I need to rant immediately. That'll be my last book, so prepare for spoilers for Virgin River number 16. Storm reads, I hope you enjoy my rant, because you seem to have been enjoying my last couple of Virgin River rants. Oh boy. Let's just get started. So the first book I read was All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I give this one 4 stars. Okay, so I tried to read this book years ago. There's a blind character in the book, and there are not a lot of books with blind characters in the books. And there are even less books where the blind character is not a musical prodigy. It is infuriating when I see musical prodigies all the time and blind book characters. Like, can the blind person, I don't know, be a trash collector? Anything but a piano player, okay? I will take garbage collector, even though that's probably one of the more boring jobs, and obviously we can't drive a garbage truck, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? I will take any career that is not a musical genius and a blind character. Anything. Anyway, so the first time I read this book, or I started to read this book, I was just not into it. But then I saw that Netflix was going to have their TV show, and I saw the trailer for it, and I'm like, okay, I need to watch this show. It looks so good, but I need to read this book. And maybe it was just the right time to read this book, but like, a lot of people have said this book is good, like my historical fiction booktube people, like podcasters, I don't know. I'm not sure if Krista or Amanda have read this book. I can't remember because it came out so long ago and people were talking about it so long ago. But yeah, I finally read it and I gave it 4 stars. I'll read the description in case you've never read it. Marie-Laure lives in Paris near the Museum of Natural History, where her father works. When she is 12, the Nazis occupy Paris, and father and daughter flee to the walled citadel of Saint-Malo, where Marie-Laure's reclusive great-uncle lives in a tall house by the sea. With them, they carry what might be the museum's most valuable and dangerous jewel. In a mining town in Germany, Werner Pfennig, an orphan, grows up with his younger sister, enchanted by a crude radio they find that brings them news and stories from places they have never seen or imagined. Werner becomes an expert at building and fixing these crucial new instruments and is enlisted to use his talent to track down the resistance. Deftly interweaving the lives of Marie-Laure and Werner, Doerr illuminates the ways against all odds people try to be good to one another. So yeah, I was more interested in Marie-Laure's parts, naturally, because she's the blind character. Her father, buys her books, and he makes her models of her hometown, and she knows how to get places. It's really interesting to read about her, and she's kind of part of the resistance. I mean, she's hiding pieces of paper and loaves of bread. I mean, take that for cool blind character. I can't believe it took me this long to read this book. I really liked it. So yeah, there's that one. I'm not going to go too much more into it, but I'll say World War II Resistance Girl is way better than Piano Prodigy. Next is The Paris Library by Janet Skesling Charles. This is actually on my TBR. I'm doing pretty good with that. I gave this one 4 stars. It was not as good as I thought it was going to be. I'll read the description. Paris, 1939. Young and ambitious, Odile has it all. Her handsome police officer beau and a dream job at the American Library in Paris. When the Nazis march into Paris, Odile stands to lose everything she holds dear, including her beloved library. Together with her fellow librarians, Odile joins the resistance with the best weapons she has, books. But when the war finally ends, instead of freedom, Odile takes the bitter sting of unspeakable betrayal. Montana, 1983. Lily is a lonely teenager looking for adventure in small-town Montana. Her interest is piqued by her solitary elderly neighbor, As Lily uncovers more about her neighbor's mysterious past, she finds that they share a love of language, the same longings, and the same intense jealousy, never suspecting that a dark secret from the past connects them. Okay, so I don't think there's a dark secret from the past that connects these two. From what I read, I don't really see the connection, except that they're both kind of jealous and insecure people. And like the present day timeline is boring. I didn't really care about Lily that much. Like, she has like boy trouble, high school drama. It's very dull. I mean, like her family situation is kind of tragic. There's a death in her family. It's kind of depressing. Odil's the interesting story, the past timeline, where she works at the library and they help deliver books to Jews and just, they use books as resistance. So I did enjoy that. It was not as fascinating as I thought. So yeah. Then I read Codename Edelweiss by Stephanie Lansom. I heard about this one through Lou from Christian Faith and Fiction. I gave this one 5 stars. Wow. I love this book so much. Like, this is probably my favorite book so far this month. I did not see that much Christian content in this book. Like, I think an atheist could read this and thoroughly enjoy this. Like, and it is a time in World War II I did not know about. It's not even World War II. It's 1930s, like pre-World War II, when Hitler is just kind of getting started. I'll just read it. In the summer of 1933, a man named Adolf Hitler is the new and powerful anti-Semitic chancellor of Germany. But in Los Angeles, no-nonsense Secretary Liesel Weiss has concerns much closer to home. The Great Depression is tightening its grip, and Liesel is the sole supporter of 2 children, an opinionated mother, and a troubled brother. Leon Lewis is a Jewish lawyer who has watched Adolf Hitler's rise to power and the increase in anti-Semitism in America with growing alarm. He believes Nazi agents are working to seize control of Hollywood, the greatest propaganda machine the world has ever known. The trouble is, authorities scoff at his dire warnings. When Lisa loses her job at MGM, her only choice is to work with Leon Lewis and the mysterious Agent 13 to spy on her friends and neighbors in her German-American community. What Leon Lewis and his spies find is more chilling and more dangerous than any of them suspected. So yeah, like she's literally spying on like these on her neighbors and stuff, and like there's like a whole community that believes in like the Nazis and stuff, so she kind of volunteers to work for them to kind of get intel into what they're doing. It is wild. Like, I mean, I live in Los Angeles, so it's really interesting to see all these places where I've been and to think that there was this whole Nazi network there at one point. And this was even before World War II. Like, this is 1933. So this was like when Hitler was just getting started and he was trying to seize Hollywood. He didn't, but, it was wild. Like, I was really into this book. So, yeah. 5 glorious stars. I need to see what else this author has written. Thank you, Lou, for recommending this one. Next is A Fire Sparkling by Julianne McLean. I gave this one 5 stars, too. I found this one on Audible like a year ago, and I never finished it, so I finally did. And from the USA Today best-selling author of A Curve in the Road comes a spellbinding novel about one woman's love, loss, and courage during wartime. After a crushing betrayal by the man she loves, Gillian Gibbons flees to her family home for a much-needed escape. But when she finds an old photo of her grandmother in the arms of a Nazi officer, Gillian's life gets even more complicated. Rattled by the discovery, Gillian attempts to unravel the truth behind the photos, setting off on an epic journey through the past. 1939. England is on the brink of war as Vivian Hughes falls in love with the handsome British official. But when bombs begin to fall and Vivian's happy life is destroyed in the Blitz, she will do whatever it takes to protect those she loves. As Gillian learns more about her grandmother's past, the old photos begin to make more sense. But for every question answered, a new one takes its place. Faced with the truth that is not at all what she expects, Gillian's attempt to shine a light on not only the mysteries of her family's past, but also on her own future. So, yeah, this one was interesting. I mean, like, you find out your grandma might have dated a Nazi, and your father might be a Nazi's kid. I'm not going to say anymore. Like, that description says it all. If I say any more, I'll be spoiling it, but put it this way. It was a journey full of twists and turns that I never expected. So, like, I was only able to find this on Audible, like on audio. There's probably print books out there, this one, but I really suggest you read this. You know, I couldn't find it in Braille, so it took me a while to get through it. I usually read and listen in tandem, like I'll listen to parts and then I'll read parts, but yeah, anyway. Next is The Orphan's Secret by Shirley Dixon. I gave this one 3 stars. Basically, it's this lady, Lily, during war. She can't get pregnant. You know, she marries this guy. She can't get pregnant. She goes to help with the war effort, and she finds an orphaned baby, and yeah, kind of goes from there. I gave it 3 stars because, like, I thought that this whole, like, baby would be, like, the majority of the story. Like, what's this big secret with this kid? And the kid is practically, like, comes into it, like, close to the end. So, like, all of it is her wanting a kid and her help with the war. So it was kind of like, okay, this is boring. Like, the interesting part happened at, like, the very end. So I wasn't really into it. So, yeah, 3 stars. Then I went back to my reading of the Babysitters Club books. Sarah from the Bookish Knitter is doing a read-along. I am way ahead of her. I read books 26 through 28 this month, or this week. Claudia and the Sad Goodbye is book number 26. I give this one 5 stars. Claudia has a loss in the family. I won't say who in case you care about huge spoilers, but it was very sad. It was a beloved character. I bawled. Then I read Jessie and the Super Brat, book number 27. I gave this one 2 stars. I was bored. Like, Jessie babysits for this, like, movie star kid, and I don't even understand why they call him Super Brat, or why they titled it that, because, like, it makes it sound like the kid's a brat, and he is so not. And whatever. Then, Welcome Back, Stacy, book number 28. I gave this one 4 stars. Stacy's parents go through a divorce. She comes back to Stony Brook. It is actually really sad. Like, I knew that they divorced because I read later books as a kid, you know, whatever was available in Braille when I was little. So it's interesting to fill in these gaps, but, yikes, those 2 fought a lot, and they were mean, her parents. So, yeah, there's those. Last 2 books. Hidden Summit, Virgin River, number 15. I gave this one 3 stars. Couple is Leslie and Connor. Connor is kind of in the middle of a murder investigation, and he's sort of in hiding. And Leslie flees from a psychopathic ex-husband who insists on being friends to ease his guilty conscience. He is an idiot. I can't stand him. Sorry. He needs his head examined. Like, I couldn't stand him. And I actually liked this couple. I liked Connor just fine in this book. My opinion turns in the last book, though, the next book I read, which is Redwood Bend, Virgin River, number 16. The couple is Dylan and Katie. And I was looking forward to this book so much because Katie has twins, and twins are just fun to read about. But, oh my God. Ugh. I hate Dylan with a fiery passion. I hate him. He is a caveman. I hated him from the second that he threw a tantrum because she wouldn't let him drive. Like, God forbid. And I hate it when he, like, shoves his wallet to pay. It's like, you are the most insecure man-child, and I cannot stand you. Ugh. And then, like, I'm going to get spoilery here, but I've been waiting to do this all morning. He sucks. Like, you know, I mean, they both agree that it's like a one night or like a temporary thing. They're not into commitment, blah, blah, blah. I mean, she admits she's dumb for falling for him when he leaves eventually to go be an actor because he's an actor. And what infuriated me about him is not that he left her. Like, I don't care about that. Like, she kind of asked for it by being with him in the first place. Like, you know, I'm not going to feel that sorry for you when you feel brokenhearted over a guy who told you from day one he wasn't into commitment. Sorry. I'm too logical for that. Do not look for me for sympathy for that. You won't get it. Whatever. My point is, what infuriated me was when he comes back later in the book to, like, make it up to her because he left her all wrong. Like, he wanted to apologize for, you know, leaving the way he did. He could have done it in a nicer way. And it's like, you left, so stay gone, okay? Don't come and apologize again and just open the wound up again. If you're going to go and stay gone. And then, you know, he decides he wants her later on in the book. And so he starts, like, being all pushy. I'm going to pick up the kids and then we're going to talk. No, you go pick up my kids and I call 911 and get a restraining order and you go to jail. Because you are invading my property and my personal space and bossing me around. So bye. Like, I hated this guy. Royally hated him. I thought that I hated Sean. No. Sean was fine in comparison to this egotistical man-child. That felt good. And yeah, on that note, that ends my book update for this week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.
Stop recording video.